Righty, Small High Radio interviewer number one, Arturo. Woo! Yo, you guys might remember him from episode. Do you remember what episode you were on?
Was it 9 maybe?
Episode 8, 9? Yeah,
9,
something like that.
Yeah.
All right, this chair is very unstable, so we're figuring out as we go. All right, well, thank you so much, dude, for coming.
To be here, man.
This is our first, and I'm excited to see what's going on. Basically, what I wanted to do is to get to know Arturo. He's got a lot going on. He's been around for a long while. He's been DJing. He's been in the scene for a good while. You've got, you know, a Digital Audio Kings group going on. You've got Cali's House Nation Radio. Yep. That's been kind of going on for how long?
Been doing that for 5 years now.
Oh my God, for 5 years.
2018 we started that project.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna jump right into it.
Let's do it, man.
All right. Well, first of all, tell us about yourself. Who are you? How did you come about into music? What's your journey?
Cool. Well, my name is Arturo. If you guys know, a lot of people know me as DJ Tooties. I'm from LA. I've been DJing for 17 years, 16, 17 years, something like that. You know, I've been passionate about music since I was a kid. You know, my fondest memory that I can remember about music and being a kid is around being 7 or 8. And I used to take the school bus, and the school bus driver would play house music. They would play CNC Music Factory. They would play Everybody Dance Now.
That's a sick school bus
and
driver.
Man, and he would have it on repeat. He would have the cassette tape. Yeah. And he would play it, and man, it was just, and it would hurt my ears because he would play so loud. So that's the first time I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And then my mom likes to tell me about the time when I was a little kid. I used to dance up like Michael Jackson when I was like 4 or 3 or whatever. But from that time when I was a kid, I started making these little mixtapes. You know, I was always been into music. You know, I wasn't really into DJing until like later in life. Yeah. But I was just making these mixtapes. You know, this is like late 90s, Napster days. You know, just making my own mixes, and then like free software would come out. Yeah. And then I would just try to blend, you know, I would try to see what the beats were, and I would just try to blend it into software. So right after high school, I actually went to the military. Yeah. I went to the Navy. I was there for 12 years, on and off for the last 4, but 8 years active duty.
Were you in San Diego since?
I was.
Okay.
Well, so I'm from LA, right? So my first station was in Washington. Okay. So right after high school, I went to boot camp, and then I went to Washington State. I was there for 2 years. And I went to Virginia. I was there for 2 years on the East Coast. And then I came here to San Diego. This is 2007 now.
Okay. All right. You've been around.
So 2007 is actually the year that I actually started Digital Audio Kings with my friend, which is actually, he's more like my brother now. We've known each other for so long. Yeah. We met in the service. Uh-huh. And yeah, we started Digital Audio Kings together. And that's like, he was supposed to be the producer. I was supposed to be the DJ. Yeah. He hasn't produced a single track yet. We're still working on that.
Someday.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah. So I started doing the DJ in 2007, and then I moved to San Diego, and man, I was doing Latin music. I was doing like reggaeton, bachata, salsa, merengue, stuff like that. Yeah. And I would DJ downtown San Diego. There's a club that used to be called Club Caribe. Yeah. On Bonita. Yeah. They changed their name. I forgot what it's called.
If you check out the episode, you're still pretty. It's pretty true to that nature still. Yeah. Like your set, I remember it was very.
I try to put a little bit of everything in that set because the thing about me is I love a lot of music, right? Yeah. So I come from that Latin background, and I started DJing hip hop too. I started blending hip hop with the Latin stuff, and this was like 2011. Well, 2010 I moved back to LA. I left the service, and then I went home basically. I was in LA from 2010 to 2019, and I was DJing. I was, you know, raving it up, partying. I was just having a good time.
Cool.
In between those times, I started going to raves, and that's when I really started to focus into house music, you know? Yeah, yeah. 2013, I started DJing in FM radio in Los Angeles. So they would do, every weekend, they would do like an after-hour show, which was dedicated to electronic music. Yeah. So I was doing house music, I was doing techno, I was doing trance, I was doing all kinds of stuff, because as DJ Duties, I like to play a little bit of everything. Yeah. So I did that from 2013 to 2016, or 17 actually, and in 2017 they stopped. The station changed their format into something completely different, which they would no longer have the show. Yeah. So, you know, I needed some music. I needed I needed a format, or not a format, but an outlet to perform my stuff. So I was like, man, I need something of my own. So in 2018, I created Cali's House Nation Radio.
Oh, that makes sense. I knew it was coming.
I started that.
Nice.
It was literally Cali's House Nation Radio was one mix that I made in December of 2017. And from that one mix, I was like, man, I want to keep doing this. There's so much music out there that I'm just really enjoying just this one mix. So from that was when Cali's House Nation Radio was born, and it was a monthly show. From being a monthly show, it went up during COVID. That's when we started making it a weekly show, just because I had the time.
Yeah.
Right around 2020, I was doing UK radio, and they wanted a second hour from us. So, I was kind of bored of doing my own mixes. Like I would do an episode of Cali's House Nation Radio, and then a mix of something else. You know? But I got bored doing that, so I created the guest mix. So I created the guest mix to fill that second hour, and then once we created it, like I kept it. That station I left. They changed their format as well. I think it was 21.
Yeah.
I left them. They left. And then for a while, we were just an on-demand stream.
Yeah. So,
you can catch us on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, et cetera, et cetera. But, it was on demand. Like, we weren't being broadcasted.
Yeah.
So 2022, so on the side project, I do a show called On the Deep End. And I focus on the progressive and the melodic side of house music.
Yeah.
So I wanted something completely different from Cali's House, but I wanted to do it my way. So I started doing it 2020. We got picked up by an Argentinian radio station in 22 last year. And then from there, they were like, hey, we really like your Cali's House Nation.
Yeah.
You want to come on the show? You want to come on our station and broadcast it? I'm like, absolutely.
And that's where you are now. That's where we are now, for both Monty Made a Mix and myself were on.
So every episode goes through them, and then after that, it just gets uploaded as podcast.
So awesome, man. Well, thanks for the explanation. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, man.
It's awesome. What you've built over the course of the years, it takes a lot. I think
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I'm learning that the hard way. But
it's
all right, dude. I got a few questions.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Some DJs might like.
Yeah, sure.
You have a very broad taste for music. It sounds like.
Yes.
How do you find your music? How do you plan your set? What is your journey to create that hour, hour and a half, 2 hour, whatever the set is?
It just depends. So for me personally, like since I do like so many genres, I just start off with a few bass songs. Maybe 2 or 3 that are, something different, but at the same way they're going to fit into the type of way I'm going to make this mix.
Yeah.
So if I make a melodic style, like I'll just find a couple songs that I really like and just dive in. For every episode of Cali's House, every episode is not the same episode, if you know what I mean. So we open it up with, one week we'll open it up with dance music. Another week we'll open it up with jacking house. Another week we'll open it up with just house music or just underground house music. And then from there, we build it up to, house and tech house. So every episode will have 3 genres of your type of music. Usually, we try to start lower in BPM and then work our way up, or sometimes we'll just start right in the middle and just read it to you.
Where do you find your music? Is it as your discovery? Where do you usually find
I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I listen to a lot of podcasts from so many DJs.
Okay.
I go through the Beatport charts, even though most of it sometimes is not all that great. There's a few songs that I can find, like, okay, I can find this, I can fit this somewhere in a show. Maybe not this one right now, but maybe a little bit later.
And in the podcast, you either look at the track list or go to 1001.
Basically.
Okay. Cool, right on. That's interesting. I think everybody has a different approach.
Yeah, sure do.
To how they discover music. Cool. So you have a job. You have a full-time job.
I do a full career.
Right?
Yeah.
So a question for you is, how do you balance? You've got a family. You've got a life.
Yeah.
You've got your DJing career, which has been, I guess you'd call it international. You've been around. You've got your radio station. You got all this stuff. And you have a full-time job.
Yeah.
How do you balance all this? Do you not get overwhelmed?
Absolutely. All the time. I've especially right now, because I have a 6-month-old. I can't even call her a newborn now. She's 6 months now.
What's her name?
Sophia.
Sophia.
Just
shout out if you see this in a few years.
What's up, Sophia? So it's been hard. The hardest part for me was I was used to being able to do my show because I work from home. So I was able to just do my show whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
Mom went back to work. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I also have a full-time job, full-time radio show. So it's like I can't just do a show when I want to. I have to plan it out very specifically, because that's the hardest part, is I can't just go into the studio and go make a mix. Like, it doesn't work like that anymore with me. Like, I have to sometimes plan it out. Like, okay, I'm doing this for lunch. Like, sometimes I'll take my lunch break at work and then I'll do a mix. That's, you know, and then I
sacrifices.
Exactly. So, you know, it's just a balance. You gotta take advantage of some of the small moments in time. Sometimes, you know, like, you have a free 15, 20 minutes, I'll go plan a set out. Or, you know, I have babies asleep for the night, I'll go, you know, make the artwork or whatever, you know, do whatever it is that I need to do for the next episode.
Okay, let's take it back to, let's say, you know, Arturo of 2000 and early 2000s. If you were to get started again, what do you think you would have changed? Or I guess maybe in another way, if somebody is starting recently and they're, you know, bedroom DJ, and they want to pick up gigs, they want to, you know, have good technical skills, what do you think they should do? What do you think will be the first step they should do?
Well, I think for me, what helped me the most in my DJ career has been networking. Like, when I moved to San Diego, I met a DJ, and you met one DJ, you meet all the DJs, right? Well, if you know the right DJ.
No, that's
guess,
right. That's right. Yeah.
So, you know, through you know, I have few people that I guess I can call mentors, you know, that put me in the scene. So what I would recommend, you know, is, you know, just get ready to network, you know, promote yourself. Who are you? You know, what do you bring to the table? You know, what kind of music do you like? You know, your mixes, you know, make sure they're nice and tight and clean. You know, I remember when I was first started DJing, if I would mess up a mix, I would start it all over again. And that was just me being me. So
what do you think is the best way to network? Like, how would you say?
Social media has been huge for me. I started playing. I played a record from this DJ in Finland, and he actually, every show on Cali's House Nation Radio is available on SoundCloud, and this DJ from Finland actually found me, and he was like, "Hey, thank you for playing my track. Much love, appreciate it." In 2019, I went to Amsterdam, and we actually met up. We had some beers. We got to network. He introduced me his friends, and it's just all about networking. So that's here amazing. I am in Amsterdam having a beer with an international DJ. You know.
Yeah,
you know, he's not super famous, but I mean, he's
that's interesting, because what I've also seen is, you know, Small High Radio is about just creating is a platform, is a no frills platform. It is not, you know, it's not for you to really, you know, have be really holding yourself up to a higher standard than everybody else. It is meant to be promoting everybody. So when you're DJing, what you're saying is, it's really interesting. You pick up unreleased or even released tracks of smaller artists, smaller producers from Finland or whatever, and then you get to play them.
Absolutely.
And you know, you get to promote them, which is awesome. And in some cases, I've seen where you play somebody you like, you kind of become you find them, right? And then they blow up, and you're like, oh, this person, I knew them.
Absolutely.
I played their set.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, man.
All right. Not a technical question, but also a technical question. You are playing to a crowd as a DJ. How do you tell that crowd is vibing with your music or not? Or how do you tell which story to present as you're playing?
You know, when you're DJing for a crowd, there's always going to be a different type of crowd. There's going to be like a crowd for everything. You know, you're going to have your drunk people that are just going to vibe and just drink and continue to, you know, party. Woo! Then you have your single people that are just like really there to just kind of listen to the music sometimes. And then you're going to have the ladies. You know, it's hard to kind of try to please everybody, but you have to try to please everybody.
Yeah.
So for me, what I would do is I would just see the vibe and see how they would dance, see how they would react to a song. Like, you know, sometimes when you hear a really good song or a good transition, you can see the crowd just vibing and just losing it because it sounds really good. So I use that a lot.
You read that crowd.
Absolutely.
And you're just like, okay, this vibe works. Like deep house is working here. I'm gonna keep it going. This like darker deep. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's
and then
good.
I come from the open format DJing, which is kind of different from the house scene, because as an open format, it's an open format. You could literally play anything.
Yeah.
But with house music, it's very specific for me, and it's why it's become my favorite, because you could just do so much with house music. And I felt when I was doing open format, like I would please the crowd, but I wouldn't please myself.
Yeah.
So it's just like it wasn't fun for me.
Yeah, one thing I've heard that I think is interesting is, You played 2 songs for the crowd, 1 song for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that 1 song turns into a discovery song likely for other people.
Sometimes.
And you get to, cool.
If you're
right
lucky,
on.
yeah. Sometimes you play a song when you know it's fire, and then the crowd is it's not the type of vibe for that song, but you know it's a good song. So
nice.
Just,
all right.
You know.
What's your maybe I like this question. How do you stay motivated? You know, it's tough. You know, you hear in this industry, you hear 105,000 no's until you hear 1 yes.
Absolutely.
Well, how do you stay motivated?
For me, it's just a passion for music. Like I just have a passion for music. Like I do my show because it's my release therapy. You know, it's my therapy to just lose myself into that music. You know.
Yeah.
For me, it's not hard
to get to the fundamental, going back to why you started it to begin with, right?
For sure. Like, well, I mean, I've been doing it a while, but like I haven't been doing this particular thing for a while. So, you know, like you said, you know, for every no, you know, for every yes, there's a no. Like I've heard so many no's, you know, and I'm not even on the producer train yet. This is just me as a host and me trying to just blow up my radio show because I know it's good. I know I have the right formula to make people dance and just get away from their problems and just, you know, just vibe.
Okay. What is your, let's talk about any advice that you may have for people that are hearing no.
Just keep going.
Just keep going.
I mean, keep going. I mean, you know, for every time you hear no, it should motivate you to why are they saying no? You know, it could be for political reasons, you know, music political reasons, or it could be, you know, you just don't fit their style or whatever. To look at that and just look at it as a positive way to what can you do to get a yes? Like, I mean, obviously, I feel like if you're in this industry, like you gotta think you're good, right? You gotta have some confidence in yourself.
Yeah,
that would be something I would give to young DJs is confidence. Like, you know, rock it, know it and rock it.
Yeah.
You know?
Do it confidently.
Do it confidently.
You touch those knobs confidently. Mean it. No half-ass movement, full on.
That's right.
And dance behind the deck.
Oh, you definitely
enjoy your
dance.
show.
If you don't dance, it didn't count.
The thing is, it's wild, dude. The past maybe 5 years or so, this concept of hearing no has been just a predominant, you know, thing that everybody faces. And I think we focus on, you know, selected social media events that all of a sudden somebody blows up overnight because of this one thing got picked up. It was at the right place at the right time. Yeah. And oftentimes you don't get to see the past 10 years that person was just hearing no.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a producer that I really like. He's on Instagram, Cato the producer. I think Cato the producer. I don't know how to say his name, but he has this thing called overnight success in 10 years or something, coming up in 10 years or something like that. Which I'm butchering it, but I think the idea here is, there is no overnight success.
There isn't.
There is no fucking overnight success. You hear no. Be comfortable with hearing no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just keep pushing. Get better at your transitions, get better at reading the crowd, get better at what you're doing.
At the end of the day, it's just business too, you know, so, you know, just don't take no as a negative. Like, yes, it can be negative, but you have to find a way to make it into a positive. So I think that's what's driven me is like, yeah, of course I've been told no so many times, and I'm going to continue to get told no, and that's okay. Like, it's just, you know, I'm confident in what I bring to the table. Like, and some people rock with it, some people don't, and that's okay.
Cool. One last serious question and a couple fun questions.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one is a good one. What do you hate the most about this industry?
One of
I don't mean to be, you know, a Debbie Downer, but I think
not at all. My pet peeve is
reality.
If you're going to be in this industry, you got to have passion with what you're doing. I don't like seeing people that don't have a passion for this, because if you don't have a passion, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing this because I love it. I love being, you know, I'm not a musician yet, but I'm going to get there. You know, I'm a DJ at heart, but, you know, I love the scene. I love the culture, you know, especially if you're going to be in the rave culture, you know, respect the rave culture, you know?
Yeah.
People have been doing this for a very long time. People have been partying since even before you thought it was cool. That's the kind of things that kind of get me.
Cool. All right. If you were to do a B2B set with any producer, DJ, performer ever, dead or alive,
Oh man,
opening it up,
yikes.
who would it be?
Well, I think for me, I'd have to go with whoever the DJ that kind of influenced me to even be in the scene, and that would be MK.
Okay.
Mark Kinchin. I am a huge fan of MK and everything he's produced since the 90s.
Yeah.
I followed his career. You know, he started doing like kind of hip hop and pop music towards the late 90s and early 2000s. And, you know, when I started raving in 2013, I got to catch one of his sets.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that his set back then was so different to something that you would hear today. It was nothing like, it was such more deeper house.
Yeah.
It was just completely different.
I gotta check it out.
And his
I don't
style
know.
now is completely, you know, feel good house vibes and everything, which is, you know, his taste has evolved so much.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be MK that I would do a back to back with.
Yeah, I know MK of today as of maybe a few years ago. I don't know of MK of more than 10, 15 years ago. I'll check it out.
Definitely.
That's cool. All right, last question. Beat sync or no beat sync?
It's a good question. Me personally, I'm okay with it. I just don't use it.
Okay.
Okay. I attended a Pioneer seminar a couple weeks ago, and the dude that was explaining the teacher, you know, he had a great explanation. If you're going to be having 4 decks and you're going to be having all kinds of tricks and this, like, it's impossible to do it without a beat sync. You know, me personally, I'm not there yet. Like, I don't own 4 decks, so maybe someday I'll be able to do 4 decks. But personally, I don't beat sync at all.
Cool.
Not against it at all, though.
Well, thank you, Arturo.
A pleasure,
This
man.
was so refreshing to dig a little deeper into DAK, into Cali's House Nation, the tremendous work you've done the past, oh God, no, how long has it been? 2007?
Well, I started
Earlier
in
than
2007,
that.
and
Okay.
then, so 2007, and then kind of took a break in the mid-2000s, being a parent and everything, and then kind of really picked it up in 2018.
All right. I'm not really good at math, but that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Cool. Well, thank you so much,
My man.
dude. I'll see you around. Any
Thank you, boss.
shows you're coming up? You're excited?
Not right now, or actually, there might be a show coming up September. We're trying to do a 5-year anniversary for Cali's House Nation Radio at the park. It's
Cool.
still in process, so if you guys want to just follow me on my socials. If we're gonna make it happen, just DAK Nocturne is my social, and then just stay posted there.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We're gonna end it here, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.